Most people think 3D printing is just Benchy boats, dragons, and fidget toys. Or, if you've seen my shorts channel, giant spaghetti failures that rule the day. That's not the whole story. Today we're looking at how industry actually uses 3D printing. From aerospace and motorsports to medical devices and manufacturing. We're going to compare the three major technologies that drive modern additive manufacturing: SLA, SLS, and FDM. How they work, what materials they use, where each process shines, and why engineers choose one process over another depending upon the job. Because in engineering, there is no best 3D printer. There's only the right tool for the job. Although 3D printing feels modern, the core technologies are actually decades old. In 1984, Chuck Hull developed SLA, Stereolithography, which uses UV light to cure liquid resin. A few years later, in 1986, Carl Deckard introduced SLS, which uses lasers and powdered materials. Then, in 1989, Scott Crump created FDM, the filament extrusion process most hobby printers still use today. Those three technologies laid the foundation for modern additive manufacturing. At a high level, SLA focuses on precision and surface finishes. SLS focuses on strength and industrial durability. And FDM focuses on accessibility, speed, and versatility. Each process solves different engineering problems. So what is SLA? SLA, or stereolithography, uses ultraviolet light to cure liquid resin layer by layer. A build plate lifts upward as the resin hardens into a solid object. Because the layers are extremely fine, SLA prints achieve incredible detail and smooth surface quality. That's why SLA is heavily used in dental, jewelry, and medical applications. Through the use of photopolymer resins engineered for specific applications, SLA printers are heavily utilized for dental aligners, surgical guides, hearing aids, and other medical models that require precision. Jewelry industries also use SLA printers to create highly detailed casting patterns. And a lot of engineers will frequently use SLA for functional prototype where appearance and fit matter. But SLA has trade-offs. Many resin parts are more brittle than other printed materials. The post-processing is required, including washing and UV curing. The build volumes in SLA printers are often smaller than their counterparts. And handling liquid resin requires proper safety procedures and ventilation. Trust me, it smells bad. What is SLS? SLS stands for Selective Laser Sintering. And instead of resin or filament, SLS uses powdered material. A laser selectively fuses that powder together, layer by layer, inside a heated chamber. One major advantage is that the surrounding powder supports the print naturally, so many SLS parts require little or no support structures. SLS commonly uses nylon and carbon-filled powders to create lightweight but durable parts. Industries like aerospace and motorsports rely on SLS for functional components and rapid iteration. SLS is also heavily used for manufacturing fixtures, tooling, and end-use production parts with complex geometries. There are downsides to SLS, mainly that it's expensive and it's industrial in scale. The machines require controlled environments and specialized materials. Also, the surface finish is usually rougher than SLA. And although supports are minimized, post-processing and powder handling are still required. So that brings us to FDM. FDM, or fused deposition modeling, is the most common form of consumer 3D printing. In this process, a heated nozzle melts filament and deposits material layer by layer. This process is affordable, scalable, and easy to learn, which is why FDM exploded through schools, makerspaces, and hobby printing. FDM supports a massive range of materials, everything from beginner-level PLA to engineering-grade nylon and carbon fiber composites. Industrially, FDM is often used for rapid prototyping, jigs, fixtures, manufacturing tools, and custom production aids. Just like its counterparts, FDM also comes with limitations. Visible layer lines are common, and this leads to parts that are weaker along the Z-axis because those parts separate along the layer lines under stress. Support structures are often needed for overhangs, and fine detail is generally lower compared to SLA. So which is best? SLA is best for precision and detail. SLS is best for strength in complex industrial parts. And FDM is best for accessibility, speed, and low-cost prototyping. Again, there's no single best technology. Engineers choose the right process based on the application, material requirements, strength needs, cost, and production goals. 3D printing is no longer just a hobby tool. From medical devices and aerospace components to manufacturing fixtures and mass customization, additive manufacturing is reshaping modern engineering. And honestly, we're still early in the process. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more engineering, CAD, CNC, and additive manufacturing content. And down in the comments, let me know which process you prefer, SLA, SLS, or FDM.